How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of A Playmakers View. I'm your host, as always, Jamie Burdish. I appreciate you guys joining the show. Today's guest is Cam Allen. Cam and I used to work together at All Star Performance and played against each other in high school. He's a great athlete. He's doing great things right now. This episode is going to be specifically about his summer ball experience. We're going to be talking a little bit about what summer ball, baseball that is, meant to him growing up and what it can do for people, the youth that we have right now, and how special it is because he now is coaching summer ball and had the opportunity to both play and coach. So that's kind of the topic for today's podcast. Hope you guys get a chance to learn a lot about him. And for you young athletes out there, wanting to get into summer ball, Cam will talk about his story and what that meant to him. And we're just going to kind of talk a little bit about that and what he's up to now. So without further ado, we can kick things off. And here we go. All right, guys. So like I said, I have Cam Allen join the show. Thank you so much, Cam. It's nice to finally talk to you again. So to start off, let's talk a little bit about yourself. Give yourself a little introduction to the viewers, kind of who you are, what you're doing right now.
My name is well, first of all, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. But my name is Cameron Allen. I'm a junior, I guess, soon to be a redshirt junior at DePaul University. I play baseball, and currently I'm living in Broad Ripple, Indiana. About to start an internship at Grand Park Sports Complex in around 2 weeks. But it's a little bit about me.
All right, so I want to focus this episode on summer ball. We talked about you were a part of the Gamers and then got a chance to coach the Gamers. So let's start off by telling us a little bit about what that experience meant for you. I'm not sure how many years you were with that organization, but in general, what does summer ball mean to you?
Summer ball was about everything that I loved. It was my whole entire summer from, I'm trying to think, 12U. I started with the Gamers when I was 12 and I finished when I was 17. But every single summer was devoted to baseball, and it was a lot of work and a lot of time. But if you love something, you just keep doing it. And I kept showing up. My mom and my dad would ask me every year, like, do you want to keep playing? And I was like, yep, I want to keep playing.
So going back to the places that you played at when you were with that organization, what do you think is probably the best place that you've ever played at?
Probably Perfect Game Lake Point in Atlanta. I went there when I was 14, and I was really overwhelmed because of there were a bunch of scoreboards, a bunch of scouts saying how hard you were throwing, bunch of notepads and bucket hats and college coaches. But as we continue to go back to this tournament, I kind of got more comfortable with how it went. But yeah, that was definitely my favorite. Bunch of turf fields, and it was a really fun tournament.
Gotcha. So after playing summer ball, we talked about you coaching. So talk us through a little bit about that experience, how that came about, and some things that you've learned as a coach for the Gamers.
Yeah, so last year, after COVID hit, I talked to Matt Whiteside, who's the director of the Gamers and All Star Performance, and I asked him if they needed any help coaching this summer for last summer, and he reached out to me, and we started doing practices, and I ended up being the head coach of a 14-year-old team. And one thing that I learned really quickly is that there's a lot of responsibility that comes into being a head coach of a team, whether that be 12-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 14-year-olds. But I quickly realized how much work it actually takes to, like, how much work it takes, like, plan out the practices, send out messages for where we're supposed to be, check the tournament schedule and send out message to the parents. Just there's a lot to do, but it was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm hoping to do it again this upcoming summer, but it was really cool to be able to make your own lineup, bringing guys from the bullpen, shifting people, bunt plays, calling bunts, calling signs. I mean, you learn a lot about yourself and a lot about the kids you're coaching as the season progressed, especially during COVID when stuff wasn't like some kids weren't as happy as normal. So like it just made it kind of gave some of the kids a bright spot to go out and play some baseball.
Yeah, so I want to ask you a little bit about that COVID situation. So when you had the COVID season or whatever, how did you manage all of that stuff going on? I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of cancellations, but what are some things you learned through that aspect of coaching? I mean, like you said, coaching in itself is a big responsibility. When you add on COVID, that's something no one's ever experienced before. So, what was that like for you?
Oh yeah, it was weird. We had to move times a lot. We showed up to the field one time, and the team got COVID, so they left the tournament. So stuff like that was there wasn't we did not we were luckier than others, but there were times where we would have to cancel practice, or it rained and we couldn't go inside because there was too many people in the building. So I was just constantly telling the guys on my team, I was like, make everything every single day count, because we would when we would get into to practice inside, I was like, well, we don't know the next time we're going to be inside, so treat everything like serious, and try to have fun. But it definitely made it a challenge. We didn't. I don't think we had a positive case the whole year. I don't think, but it was definitely a challenge for sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of challenges that everyone's been going through. So I kind of want to leave with this. After all of this has happened, and you have a few more years left of baseball and leaving it all on the field, we talk about that. So, what are some of your plans for the future and some things you're looking forward to playing at the collegiate level? But also, what are some of your plans just for the rest of your life, if you know any of that yet?
Yeah. So when I took the gap semester, I was just kind of reacting to what was going on at our school, and did something that I thought was going to be beneficial for me. So I'm taking this time to get stronger. I'm going to play in the summer league, and hopefully coach another gamers team this summer. But I took the semester off because I didn't really know what I wanted to do 100% with my life. But after like this whole entire COVID situation, I'm probably going to try and go into coaching after college. But with 2 more years left, I can kind of make sure that's what I want to do after graduating school. But I hope that it all works out, because seeing our team play. Um, I went to the game, their first game this past weekend, and it was definitely tough, but it was awesome seeing them out there. But it was kind of sad not being able to be out there with them. But it was one of the things that I knew could have been a possibility when I decided to take a semester off to get an extra year back. So um, we're gonna try. I'm gonna try my best to get into coaching. I know it's kind of a tough market, or I guess, and but it should be a cool ride. So I'm excited for the next two years of college, and kind of seeing where coaching may take me after I graduate.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that was all great stuff. I want to finish off with one thing. For yourself, you've had a lot of experience with, playing this summer ball that we talked about, and this is kind of what I wanted to base the episode on. So, for guys that are a little younger, what is your message to them as to why, if there's someone deciding, hey, should I get into summer ball, or should I, take a year off and just work? What are some of the benefits that someone can have from playing summer ball? You get the friendships, you learn a lot of leadership skills, all that kind of stuff. So, from your eyes, what is some motivation that you have for those kind of people deciding whether or not to do it or not?
Oh yeah, if you had the option, I mean, I was very lucky with my parents. The gamers was not cheap at all. So my parents spent a lot of money and a lot of time driving me all around, paying for hotels, paying for food. So I got really blessed by them being able to let me do what I wanted to do. But if the opportunity presents itself, for summer ball is awesome. I'll never forget those long nights, those long car rides, those early mornings, those there's a lot of memories that I've had from summer ball, and making relationships. I still talk with most of my team. I mean, we did so many fun things together. We'd go to baseball games. We'd do pool trick shots. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But if the opportunity presents itself, whatever organization it may be, um, summer ball is definitely something that I would recommend to any kid of any age.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and hopefully you learned a lot about Cam and are inspired by him to play some college baseball and follow your dreams too. You talk about taking that gap year, finding yourself. So that's really important because sometimes people kind of rush through things, but I'm excited to see where your life takes you, and hopefully you get a chance to coach some team in the near future, and all that good stuff. So thank you so much, and we'll be back with you guys next week for another episode of A Playmakers View.